I recently needed a little help when I came back with a camera full of photos like this. Time for some sky replacement. Before we get too far in this episode, I want to invite each of you to check out my bonus content from patreon.com/EWJ. Over these next few weeks while I'm in Charleston, I'll have all of my content from this trip available for free. Please consider becoming one of my patrons and help me to continue to build this channel. Sky replacement is actually crazy, simple, stupid, easy, if you have the right tools. Let's head out to my photo shoot on South Carolina's Driftwood Beach. Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Jason Yoder. This is where I share with you all these adventures I have capturing my images. Today we are at what's called Boneyard Beach or Driftwood Beach or Botany Bay Beach here in South Carolina. So some years ago, a hurricane really came through here, and you can see washed away a lot of the beach. Now this area kind of existed before then, but the hurricane really washed away a lot of the beach. So I'm almost to the point here where I'm going to have to take off my shoes and roll up my pant legs if I want to continue on down. Kind of liking this really, let's put this. We're taking a picture of dead things, let's just face it, all right? I'm kind of liking how the very muted colors are happening behind me with these trees. I'm gonna set up the tripod, see what I can get. Well, obviously, I didn't like the muted colors if we're talking about sky replacement in this video. So, after leaving my shoes up on a tree, I head out into the water. I'm really hoping that at some point the sky lights up with color. Clearly, that didn't happen. This photo is very dull, so let's fix that. I jumped over to my website, snapbysnap.com, and I downloaded some of the amazing sunsets from Arizona that I photographed. Next, I'm going to send this photo over to Photoshop. In Photoshop, I select Edit, and then Sky Replacement. Now, in the drop-down, I choose the sky that I want. I like to use my own skies as opposed to the ones that are already in Photoshop. I need to pick one that will work with this photo. Once I find the right one, I save it and head back to Lightroom. Switching between the before and after, you can already see the difference. Photoshop made some color corrections for me to adjust the white balance of my foreground to try and make it match the sky's color. The problem is, there is a lot of water without any reflections of the sky. To solve this, I'm going to be using masks and intersecting masks in Lightroom. First, I'm going to do a sky mask, and then invert it so it focuses on the ground. Then I'm doing an intersecting linear gradient mask. I don't want to change the color of trees, just the ground. Another intersecting mask, this time a luminance range. I select the water. I'm still getting some of the trees in the mask, so I use an intersecting brush to mask the trees. Then I invert that mask to take the mask off the trees and back onto the ground. Next, I hide the mask so I can see my adjustments. I'll adjust the temperature of the mask area to try and give it the appearance of the sky reflecting water. I also notice that the water in both the lower corners need to have more of a purple tone to them to match the sky in the upper corners. I'm going to use a radial mask to correct this. I'll have to use a few intersecting masks to make sure that I'm not changing the colors of the trees. I'll start with the luminance mask and select the water. Next, I'll intersect that with a brush mask and select the trees. Once I invert the mask, only the water should be selected. So once again, I'll remove the mask overlay so I can see the photo without the red overlay and begin to cool the colors. I'll then repeat the process on the bottom left of the photo. In my sky replacement, the sun is setting on the horizon. I need to brighten up the water in the center of the photo to give it some glare. I'll use a radial mask and I'll select the area. Using the steps that I just showed you before, I'll need to remove the trees from the mask. Now I'll lower the dehaze setting to try and provide that glare. I'm also going to play with the white balance to give it more of an orange to match the sky that is close to the horizon. I need to be sure to only make subtle changes or the colors will just not look right. I'll also increase the highlights to again add more of a glare effect. And here you go, the before and after photos. Now let's go grab some more photos. All right, well, this is a really interesting place. I just wish we had color. Meandering through the remains of this once lush forest is not yielding what I'm looking for. The sky, the lack of color in the sky is really disappointing. Things have really started changing here fast. This tree was completely in the water when I got here, maybe 30 minutes ago. We're about 2 hours after high tide and the water's really going out. I think I see another tree a little farther in the water that way, so I'm going to go down there and set it for what I hope will be a beautiful sunset. So let's take a look at some more before and after photos. Sky replacement is not something I take lightly. I used to be opposed to photo manipulation, but as I've studied the beautiful photos taken from others, I could see where they made some subtle changes. Sky replacement is a very big adjustment. There is nothing subtle about it. It can easily be done wrong. In a few weeks, I'll post another video talking more specifically about the settings in Photoshop's sky replacement feature and some of the details that you need to be on the lookout for to help ensure that your sky replacement photos don't look fake. Until then, thank you for watching. Please subscribe and take care.